Banana bread. Do 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 do. Banana bread. Do 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 do. Banana bread. Do 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 do. Today we will be making banana bread. Yes, fantastic. But it's not just like every other banana bread. Oh no, this banana bread is my banana bread. So that means it's pretty good. We are making a 1 bowl, sort of gluten-free, refined sugar-free, can be dairy-free banana bread. As it is written, every food blogger needs to have a banana bread recipe or they're not a food blogger. So this is why I'm putting mine out today. I've actually gone out of my way to dress this set this morning. You may have noticed the bananas behind me. They're not actually the bananas we'll be using. No, we're gonna be using like the brown ones, you know. Nothing crazy for this recipe today. We're just gonna be making a delicious, soft, fluffy, crusty banana bread with chocolate chips in it, but you don't have to use chocolate chips. I've got like a variety of options of things that you can put in your banana bread today, but of course I'm gonna use chocolate chips, which, yes, my specific banana bread that I'm making today is not refined sugar free, but it can be. Can be, okay? Let's jump straight into it. First things first, preheat the oven to 180 degrees Celsius on bake. Get out your one big old bowl for this recipe because everything's going in. We're mixing everything together. It's gonna be super easy. We're gonna start off with 3 to 4 medium-sized bananas. I'm going with 3.5 today. You can obviously see 4 in front of you right now, but the end of one of them is a bit too bruised, so I'm going with 3.5. But I'd say roughly 3 to 4 medium bananas. The good thing about this recipe is it doesn't need to be too specific. It's something that you can just chuck together. Everything just gets chucked in the bowl, and if you're a little bit, 15 grams over on this, a teaspoon over on that, no one cares unless it's salt. Don't put too much salt in. First thing we're gonna do is mash those bananas up. We're gonna mash those bananas up until it's a reasonably smooth banana-y mixture. Mash banana, mash banana. Mash banana, mash banana. Wiggles fans out there? Anyone brought up on the Wiggles? No? To the mashed bananas, we're gonna add 90 grams of melted butter, and you can 100% use vegan butter here as well if you're making it dairy free. So yes, this is the reason why it's not quite a 1 bowl recipe, because you've got to melt your butter in something, but shh, no one needs to know. So we're gonna add in the melted butter there and give it a good mix. The reason we're mixing it now is because we want the melted butter to cool down, especially if it's hot, because the next thing we're putting in is 2 eggs. And if we put our eggs into something hot, they're gonna cook, and that's gonna be gross. So 1 egg, boom, 2 eggs, boom. And we're gonna whisk that together as well until that all comes together. Next thing we're adding is 2 tablespoons of honey. If you don't wanna use honey here, you could use agave. I prefer the honey taste, but totally up to you, no judgments, no judgments. And we're gonna mix that one in as well. Now we're just gonna simply add in our dry ingredients. Our first dry ingredient today is 250 grams of gluten-free self-raising flour. Do not worry if you don't have self-raising flour, you can use normal gluten-free flour and then add in 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. Then we're gonna add in a tablespoon of cinnamon and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. At this point, we're just gonna mix until it all comes together. Make sure you are wiping down the sides and getting a good mix underneath because the flour does tend to stick to the bottom. And once that's all mixed together, now is the point where you put in any other ingredients that you wanna put in. I am, of course, using about 150 grams of chocolate chips, because that's just the life that I live. If you don't wanna put chocolate chips in this part, do not worry. I've got a couple of options for you. Why not try walnuts? A swirl of Nutella, some peeled and diced apples. How about some almond butter? You could put in some maple syrup, but probably not this maple syrup. This is like the shittiest maple syrup you could ever buy. I don't even think it classes as maple syrup. Try and get some good maple syrup if you can find some good maple syrup. You could even put in dates. And I don't have a picture of dates there because I don't like them. Then we're gonna mix in our added ingredients until they are evenly spread throughout. Now we're gonna pour our mixture into a loaf tin. The size of the loaf tin I have got is 22 centimeters in length by 11, 12 centimeters in width, and it's about 6 centimeters in depth. I'm just going to go ahead and line that with a sheet of baking paper. If you don't have any baking paper, you can just grease the outside with some vegan butter or normal butter, whatever you're using. Our banana loaf is going to go into the oven now for 45 to 50 minutes. Just a little bit of leeway there, but once you get to 45, chuck in a kebab stick, and if it comes out clean, it's ready to take out. And here is our beautiful baked loaf. We're going to let this completely cool before cutting into it. The mixture on the inside really needs to set. If you cut into it too soon, you might find it's a bit crumbly. And that's alright if that happens. It's still going to taste good. And here is our beautiful final product. The good thing about this mixture is it's nice and thick, so you don't need to worry about all of the chocolate chips sinking to the bottom. They should be very well evenly distributed. Tiny bit of troubleshooting. If you're getting to 40 minutes and you're like, oh my goodness, the top of my bread is burning to a crisp, well, hopefully you'll notice before that, but you know, if it's looking like it's about to burn, you can cover it with a bit of tin foil and just let it cook, because internally it still needs to be cooking for about that long. But this is nice and ready now, so shall we slice into it? I think so. Woo! Give it a go. I may have not followed my own rules and cut it when it was slightly warm, but hey, life's for taking risks, you know? Let's give it a go. Banana-y, chocolatey, soft, warm, delicious. I forgot to mention, the older the bananas, the better, because they will bring that natural sweetness to it. If you use like fresh bananas, you'll have a very, very, very bland banana bread. You want to wait until they're nice and squishy so they have all that natural fructose, so you don't even need to add extra sugar. Delicious. Need to have a cup of tea with this one, definitely. For storage, I'd keep it in a sealed container. It does stay quite soft for a couple of days, but I personally like to reheat a bit in the oven, make it like toast, put some Nutella on it, and then enjoy it like that. Hey, I really like doing recipe videos, so if there's anything in particular that you would like me to make gluten-free, drop it in the comments below. As always, you can find the recipe for this banana bread in the description box. I'll make sure it's there. I'm actually now gonna make something else, but it's a secret, so you'll have to wait to find out. Alright, have a lovely weekend. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!